It is my first Via Ferrata run using this DIY backpack mount for the, in my case, the X5 from Insta360. I have a couple of first impressions. I don't know how the footage looks. I will see that when I will download it on a laptop and fiddle a bit with it. Let's see the vantage points, the perspective. Sometimes I'm going with the invisible selfie stick longer, shorter. Shorter means you see almost only my body. That's okay because it takes you closer to the wall and you see more detail. Then if I go longer, it means I'm farther away. You see the perspective of a segment, and from there the experience might be better. Of course, I cannot make it shorter or longer while climbing. The way I'm setting it at the start, it is the way it goes. What I've seen so far, this stays fixed here. I don't have any issue. I thought this will travel. No, it didn't travel, or I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention. I will test it back again today. I will form a better impression. It works, but I used cardboard to make the whole plate here behind. Overall, this is heavy. And when you do a level E Via Ferrata that had overhangs, it was pulling my back down. It is an extra effort that you have to make. It is heavy. I have some water, a liter, not more than a liter. Then the first aid kit, a second Via Ferrata set. Oh, that's it. Nothing else. It is heavy. I can feel it being heavy. Well, we'll see. We'll watch together the footage. We'll see exactly which perspective works better. After I many times been insulted in the comments on the channel because of this, here is the time. It arrived. I can speak about how I DIY'd this backpack invisible selfie mount for the Insta360 X5 camera. It can be any 360 camera as long as you have an invisible selfie stick with it to mount it here. Again, I've got many insults on the channel, so many, never happened before. People erroneously thinking that I'm in bad faith and I present this, introduce this only for members to somehow gain an advantage. Be advised, I invested so much in this channel, you cannot even imagine the total amount. I don't have subscribers, I don't make a ton of money. It was all for you at the end of the day. It is my pleasure to do it. It is my passion. I want to give back under the forms I can do that. And this channel is that one of the ways I give back to you. So no, I wasn't using tricks on you. I wasn't keeping this only for members. I wasn't hiding information. As I told you when replying in the comments where I was insulted, it was because I didn't test it. I built it out of a need. In the past, I bought from Insta360 all their back mounts, back bar, back climb, backpack mount, whatever they released, I bought them all. Actually, the plate here that I'm using, this one here, it is from the backpack mount from Insta360. I always used Insta360 cameras. Now we know DJI released their Osmo 360 camera but doesn't have replaceable lenses. It is good because with replaceable lenses, what happens is I already smashed it badly and it is only the fourth, fifth time I'm using it. I don't know if you can see it, how smashed it is. Because the lenses are replaceable, I no longer need to add lens guards. The lens guards, they create reflections. It's best to just have the thing directly without a barrier between the image and the lens. I built this out of a need. I've tried all the back bars for this specific discipline, for Via Ferrata. Again, for other disciplines, for other sports, for other activities, might just work the way it is. You don't need this. But if you want to put a camera on your back and you do sudden movements left, right, through your hips, changing your posture, it is very difficult to get stable, coherent, usable image. And now check on the screen from a Via Ferrata, I bend my back and then I go suddenly on the vertical back again and then I step up and that one is a sudden move. So practically the selfie stick on the camera does like this and then does like this very fast and then rotates like this extremely fast. These fast movements makes the image almost impossible to stabilize when you do subject tracking, for example, in the Insta360 Studio. Trying all the back mounts from Insta360, none of them worked properly for various reasons, various errors, various mistakes, or various limitations. For example, the backpack mount, this is the plate from the backpack mount, comes on the backpack, but nothing keeps it steady. There is nothing to to remove that jitter created by the mount itself, the whole system not staying perfectly molded on the backpack. And fixed as well, not only molded, but it also has to stay fixed to have the right support. That one is already extra jitter that you get. You already have the selfie stick and the camera on top of it. The center of gravity goes so far away and it puts a lot of pressure, and you already have that balance, automatic balance that is created by the weight of the camera. And then you have also the jitter created by the backpack not sitting right. With back mounts, they sit on above your hips, all of them, both of them, they have two versions. With that, it is fixed, it stays better, but that one introduces another problem. One, it stays fixed, and the way the mounts here, the way they are done, the selfie stick, you can put it as long as you want. It actually stays there. It does the job. It doesn't. This one here has a limitation, and I will tell you in a moment what it is. And with that, you can push the camera as far as you want, but the farther away the camera is, then the movements are even more sudden, and this makes the footage unusable. This is one thing. The other thing is, even if overall it appears to be stable, it is at the hip level. Being at the hip level, the rotation is way more sudden compared to our back. We move our back less. We pivot the back less compared to the hips. The hips are faster and they pivot way more for the same type of rotation. So you want to move a selfie stick from your hip level to the back level on your back, because the back moves more controlled. We do more movements, more rotations with the hips. It is also the legs up, down, the steps, at least again in the case of Via Ferrata. Because of that, you want to put the selfie stick on the backpack. And at the point I thought, how do I solve this? And this is the backpack that I'm using on Via Ferrata, is the Petzl Bug. They now released a new version. It looks completely different compared to this one. And I'm pretty confident you can use any other backpack you want. I decided to put it here. What did I do? I took this backpack plate from the backpack mount from Insta360. I bought the accessory, the backpack mount. I took the straps away, I took them apart, and I kept the plate. And then the plate, I placed it on cardboard. Nothing to explain there. You might say, oh, show it to us. What can I show to you? This is the metal plate, and the cardboard is under the metal plate, and this is a lot of duct tape, because what I used is a lot of duct tape, a lot of it, to make sure that plate doesn't go anywhere. And I have the plate on a piece of cardboard. The cardboard is twice the width, equal the height of the plate, plus minus, or 3 times the width, something like that, and quite thick, ½ centimeter thick. And it's wrapped in duct tape, a lot of it, to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Now, this is the first layer. Then, so the first cardboard piece goes this level here, and the plate stays on the right to fit the pocket here. Then, to have proper surface contact, to make sure, because this one here, first of all, will drop down, and I needed to keep it up. And then I needed more support on the whole area, because the larger the area, the forces transfer better, they dissipate better, right? When the forces of a camera on the selfie stick on the mount. And to do that, I enlarged this with 2 pieces that are with duct tape to the best of my ability. Either way, they were not getting in. So to get them in, I had 2 pieces, and one down, one up, glued with duct tape. And then on top of this here, on the top side, I duct taped the initial cardboard unit that I built with a backpack mount plate. And that's that. Then, to keep the pocket, you see, to remove the space from it, I had this plastic wraps. This is already gone. It had bubble wraps, but they are gone. So this is for nothing. Do we still have? Yes, this has some more, but they fade away, I see. So I will soon have to just let me take it apart now while I'm with you. Let's see what else I have in here. What did I add it? So I added this bubble wrapper here, this one here. Okay. Just to fill the space. And I have of this more, and I'll bring more to fill. Now in here, I have space, too much space. It doesn't matter, but this might bounce, and I don't want it to bounce that much. So I will have to search for more bubble wrap. I have the bubble wrap. Okay. to put it in on this side here. Because this still has some of it, so I can put it back to remove the slack, the space from inside. Now it has better surface contact here, which means it will build more pressure and dissipate more. The air is gone from this one. For now, let's put it like that there. I will have to find a solution to remove the empty space from inside. In this way, this plate doesn't move at all or less, and the forces dissipate better. This is how I built it. We close here. This is the whole thing. You can only see this part on the camera. The selfie stick is invisible, of course. And here we have it. I've tested it. This is why I'm speaking with you about it, because it works. I can tell you this, it works. It definitely works. It absolutely works. I'm so enthusiastic because it works. Definitely works. It's an improvement by, I will say, 40% at least, no more than 50. So I was able to improve with this setup by 50% the whole thing, maybe more if we factor in other things as well. So let's speak about that. Let me first bring something. Insta360 has now multiple different various invisible selfie sticks. This is one of them. It has the standard one, and then it has a couple of more. They are thinner, thicker, longer, shorter, of carbon or other materials. I think this is carbon. I don't remember. Maybe it is carbon. And currently, it is what I use, this invisible selfie stick here. I have two of them. I don't remember how I ended up with two. It really doesn't matter. It has a very good thread attachment here for in here to make sure it doesn't consume in time threading it in and out. And yes, this is what I use now. It's quite heavy. I would have loved something more subtle, less heavier, but it is okay, not an issue. Now this goes as like this in. I'm telling you what I discovered while testing it, right? Because it has limitations. And then I put this thread. I have this dark thread here. I don't know if you can see it. It is that one there. I have this dark thread because I was on Schlossberg Via Ferrata in Austria 2 years ago, and I lost the camera because here where it threads, in time it worn out and it just disconnected from the main thread. And I lost the camera. I was able to recover the camera, but it was an adventure. To not repeat that, now I'm taking this measure, countermeasure or prevention measure to make sure this in case something happens here or here, I catch the camera and I don't lose it. I yet don't have something for this other extremity. So this is how this stays, and this has limitations. One of the limitations is here. This connection goes up to a point, then it gives up because it is too heavy. The farther away the camera is, this one will start giving up. Now I have a sweet spot of it. The sweet spot is this side here cannot change size or distance, so that one is like that. But then I go half with all subsequent parts of it. Half, always half. And that length, I know with that length, this one here, when I thread it here properly, when I close it properly, this stays in the position I want. If I make it a second longer, this starts to slide to the maximum lower point here. No matter what I do, no matter how much I compress here, I close it here, which is a limitation. I would have loved sometimes to have camera farther away when I have a lot of space to show better on the wall, to show more of a wall. Not possible because of that. If I don't have obstacles left, right, if it is an upright Via Ferrata and I go straight like that, why not? Let's push the camera farther away. Not possible because the moment I do that, this will slide. This is by trial and error until you figure out the sweet spots for various case scenarios based on what you want to achieve. I think this will go out here. I presume this bowl here will soon go out. I don't know why. It doesn't look right. Yes, I think this will soon go out. We'll see how I will fix it at that time. What will be the solution that I will find? The idea is, what I would love is to see my hands. Otherwise, if I put it too low, it might be that my back will block all the movements that you might want to see more action, more movement. This is trial and error. It is why I bought this remote control, to be able to frame and reframe on the mountain based on the type of element. If I'm not rushing, I stop, I take the backpack down, I reframe this until I get the angle I want, and then I continue. This stays this way because it cannot change the width, but then everything else that gets out of the stick it is only half measure, up to the half of it. And that one is the sweet spot for this to grip properly and not to lose position. Where I put it, it is where it stays. So this is one of the limitations that I spotted while recording for trial now. I didn't properly trial the image. I didn't properly optimize this and fiddled with it to find the right spots to learn how to actually use it and what to do and how to move. That one is refinement and optimization going forward. This is how I built it. Come on, just DIY it for yourself. The question was, will it work or not? This was the question. Practically, what do you have to solve when you have to do this? Why what they sell doesn't solve the problem? Because the straps don't properly fix the plate on the backpack, and to do that you need a backpack full of something. This, if I have it empty, you see it moves as well, so not good. I always have to have something inside. Practically the whole support has to be as full possible, and then to be able, by being like that, to not move and to absorb the forces. And for that you have to have a backpack that is full. Now with the backpack mount, the original, this one, the original with the straps, even if you have a backpack full, you still have to find a way to tighten the straps in a way that the plate doesn't move too much, and no matter what you do, it still moves. That one is a limitation. The second downside of that is you block the backpack now. You can no longer access the backpack. Well, if I want to just get in, now I can do it. I open the pocket here and I can do whatever I want in the backpack. All I lost is this pocket here, but otherwise I have access to the backpack. I removed that micro-jitter of the plate because the plate is always fixed, and it is fixed on a large, very large surface. That one dissipates forces way better and of course gives control to the mount here. From there, I replaced it comes the backpack mount with a very short rod. I replaced that with an invisible selfie stick, and I push it as far as I want to get. This DIY thing removes that limitation, plus gives you an advantage, gives you back access to the backpack itself. Hence, this is why you have to DIY it, and I told you how to DIY it. You have to think at the problem. What is the problem? I have a back plate is not fixed. How do I fix that plate or any other mount that you might have? How do you make that mount to stay where you want it to stay? As fixed as possible, to have as few micro movements possible, because the more it has, the more it introduces jitter into the camera, and the camera sways left, right, up, down, or in an arch. I've tried to solve that problem. This is how I do it. It works. This is what matters. It doesn't matter what backpack you'll have. Based on the backpack, you'll have to find the solution how to fix that plate and the plate you have, or the rod, or the mount, whatever you have, to fix it to that. And you can put it wherever you want. Now the lesson here is, because I see many, and I did that as well, I see many that they put the selfie stick in the backpack like this, but this goes above your head. You cannot see the third person perspective because it's too close to the wall, and then you only see the wall, you don't see the person, you don't see from the behind of a person. The solution that I'm using offers you that possibility. It opens that horizon. On helmet, same as putting it vertical on the backpack, even worse if it is on helmet. And to put it anywhere else, hips, I told you what is the limitation with above the hips or around the hips, because you move them a lot and you have different type of movements that are worse than the back. You are left with the back, and I had to find a solution for that. I recorded, I'm happy with it, it works. This is what matters. It really works. I don't believe there is a point to take it apart, because again, it is a lot of cardboard and duct tape to put 3 cardboard pieces together with a backpack mount plate from Insta360. This is all I did on this backpack. And then I added this thread to make sure I'm not losing either the mount or the invisible selfie stick with the camera. And it works. It improved everything by a lot. You'll see when I will put the videos on the channel. I'm confident you'll love it compared to before. From my perspective, with everything that I've tried so far, this is the best up to this point. The best in terms of getting the more useful or the best quality footage possible for Via Ferrata from this perspective. And I hope it helps. I think it's less about reverse engineering what I did and more about explaining why I did it. And I hope I did a very good job at explaining that. Why on the backpack, not on the hips, and then why other vantage points on Via Ferrata don't work. They don't work because you bring the camera too close to the wall. You might hit the camera into the wall. Either way, from the back it hits as well, but it is a different situation, a different circumstance, or is different circumstances. Then when you put it on the vertical, you can only look down, below the camera, under the camera, then out the wall, and above, and there is not that much to see other than to try to manipulate the user in getting scared and afraid about Via Ferrata and say, oh, look at this vertical. The 360 camera, its idea is to get in a single shot as many angles possible, but good angles. In my opinion, a camera on the helmet, a camera in the backpack on the vertical doesn't give you that multiple angles, because when you want to look down, you'll see the helmet and then the backpack or the back of a climber, and the climber, you don't see the drop. From my perspective, in my opinion, the better job is if you put it away behind you in such manner that it follows you, it watches you as a third person, as someone is there sitting outside the wall and watches you how you climb and how you struggle with that. And I look at the footage, it's a good struggle. I can see all the details, all the struggle. There is no hiding away now. The camera can capture everything